guys, we're Corey and Nicole, and welcome to Steel Roots.
So we've noticed inside the house that we've had a lot of fluctuation in our water pressure. It was kind of surging, and I guess after investigating, we, in a nutshell, determined that our pressure tank for our system is bad. And the way we figured that out is we went online onto the internet to try to figure out anything about well systems. So since it was surging, which means that the well pump was cycling on and off pretty frequently. And after looking into that, they say to investigate your pressure tank. So we drained our system, drained the tank, and used just a tire gauge to check the pressure on the pressure tank, and it was at 0. We tried filling it up and it wasn't holding any kind of air pressure, so we assumed that the bladder inside of the pressure tank is bad, and that has led us to where we are right now. We have purchased a new pressure tank. It's a 20-gallon, and we've got a whole bunch of fixtures because we're going to replace the fixture that was on the old one as well, because I think we have some footage of it.
We do.
So if you look at it, the old pressure gauge is got a bunch of discoloration to it, and it's actually pegged at like 40 or 50 or something like that PSI, even though the system had 0. So that was obviously not working properly. So we've just figured we'd replace the whole thing. All right, let's take a pause real quick. And in case you're just like me and didn't know anything about well systems before now, I'm going to give you a brief overview of how my system works. So you have your well. Your well will draw water up from the earth down whatever distance your well is into the line that sends water to the house. Sometimes pressure tanks are located inside the house. Apparently sometimes they're outside. Mine is in the crawl space. So it sends the water in this way. It goes into this pressure tank, and your pressure tank is essentially just like a storage device. It stores water under pressure so that your well does not have to constantly run whenever you're running water in the house. This will store it. It stores it under pressure. It's got a cavity of air at the top, a bladder of water in the bottom. These two should remain separate so that air can stay under here under pressure. Different systems are set up different ways. I'm going to use a 40-60 pressure switch on mine, so this will keep air anywhere between 40 to 60 psi, and that pressure in here is determined by this pressure switch. The low number is the number at which the pressure switch will turn the well on, 40 psi. The top number, 60, is the number at which the pressure switch will turn the well off. And then it sends water into the house. And for me, it goes into some PEX tubing that sends the water, distributes the water throughout the house to the different water faucets and tubs and showers. The problem that I have with my tank, these two spaces are not separate. There has been some kind of failure in this bladder, so the air and the water are able to mix, which means that the air won't stay up here. It gets distributed throughout the system until it's at 0. Also, the water can access this cavity. This cavity is not lined, and so the water makes direct contact with that steel tank and makes it rust. And you can see I have a lot of rusty, dirty water when I drain this tank. All right, so just to be perfectly clear, I am not a plumber. I do not work on wells, and everything that I am about to say is what I've learned from other people who probably still don't know what they're talking about either. So this is the T that goes directly into the tank. I've got a check valve, an adapter to go to don't know what they call the line, but it's the line that comes from the well. It's black, it's 1 inch in diameter. These are some replacement clamps. I've got 2 on the old one, and I can probably reuse them. It only takes 2. I bought 3 in case I screw one up. This is a relief valve. It goes right here. This is the drain valve that we can use to drain the tank. It goes here. This is a quarter turn valve to shut the water off. And this is a 1 inch thread to 3/4 inch PEX shark bite. Apparently those are pretty controversial. Some say use them, some say don't. I don't care. I'm going to use it. This is a 1/4-inch pipe. This one to go up to the pressure switch, which is a 40-60 pressure switch. And I think that's everything. Yep, I'm using some Teflon tape, some pipe dope. So I'm going to go ahead and just throw everything together. Basically, essentially, I'm going to wrap all the threads in the Teflon tape, and then I'm going to put some sealant on the outside of that, and then I'll screw each fitting together.
Trevor, the hump of stuff behind you.
The what?
The dirt behind you. I didn't want to trip on it.
All right, I'm going to drag this over here. It is. It's a good thing we filter it.
Oops.
All right, so as per the usual when I'm learning how to do something for the first time, we, through inexperience, got the wrong part. Maybe, maybe not. So this pressure switch is a 40-60, which is fine, and we need one, but we ran into the problem. This thing has a male fitting on the bottom, and this pipe is male, so those don't go together. So we ran back out to the store, which wasn't close, and got one that has a female on the bottom so that we can thread this in, and then the other end will thread into there, so we can now proceed. Like, we've already pulled out the other pump, or the other tank, so this had to happen. So we'll get that on there, and then we can install it. Oops. All right, so we've got everything hooked up. That's ready to be, the left side is ready to be connected to the PEX. The right side is ready to be hooked up to the well hose. And we have pre-filled this. It was at 31 PSI, even though it said it was supposed to come from the factory at 25. So if we had a 30-50 switch, technically that would be too high. But we filled it at 38. Just gonna verify before we install it. 37.5 is fine. And that's it. So now I've got the tank under the house and it's in place. This is where it's going to live. Before I hook up the hoses, I am connecting the wiring to the pressure switch. It's got wire that comes from the breaker that goes into the switch, and then there's the wire that goes from the pressure switch to the well itself. So as you can see here, it's all done. I've got the hoses hooked up. All I've got to do is turn that valve on, turn the well breaker back on, and should be good to go. So since we got everything in, everything's turned back on. I have the breaker turned back onto the well. Turn this on, let it run. We'll take a look at this gauge. And make sure this thing kicks on at 40 PSI and then it kicks back off at 60. And then we'll also test, I have a 5-gallon bucket hooked up to the water here. Should have a
discharge volume of, I think it said 5 and some change, maybe 5.5 gallons for a 4060 switch. So it should fill this bucket up. All right, switch just kicked on at 40, just like it's supposed to. Bucket is full. Let me go ahead and turn it off. And clicked off at 60. Good to go. All right, so as you can see here, the water's flowing, got good pressure, and we don't have any surging, which is the best part. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.